Good morning everybody, welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on Pepe. We're going to do a full update. I know quite a lot of you are interested in Pepe, so I just wanted to give you my thoughts on what's most likely from the price action here. We have so far, the price action is relatively stable, but I would still argue, just to cut to the chase, that it's most likely that we will either stabilize or that will drop down a little bit lower. I mean, you can see right here, we're looking at a 4-hour time frame, that Pepe is still very much, even though the market circumstances since well, basically last week Thursday, but let's say Friday morning, have been pretty good. I mean, Pepe is still respecting, first of all, last week Tuesday it already respected the breakdown below the balance, below the range we had right here, with this move right here, the 3rd of June, so 6 days ago. And then after that, we have also always respected the 4-hour downtrend right here. We're respecting the 200 EMA. And usually, look, it's not that that's very weak resistance. No, it's actually quite strong resistance. But if you take the reaction to that resistance in combination with the relative strength that we've seen over the course of the weekend, it is a bearish confirmation, right? I mean, if the price respects resistance that much, that's a bearish confirmation, especially also if you take into the equation the volume that Pepe has shown basically since that breakdown at the end of May, which has been relatively low. Like, compare that to the volume we've had when we started to rally right here, but also compare that to the volume when we bottomed here at the beginning of April, and the first time we started to rally right here at the end of April. It's a whole different world, right? And with Pepe, at least in the last 2-3 months, one of the main things that you always see when we actually get some recovery or when we get some more bullish price action is volume, all right? And at this point of time, volume is lacking. So even though I'd say the market circumstances are quite good, and the market circumstances are definitely pointing towards, somewhat more of a bullish, so they're pointing somewhat more to the upside for most altcoins. I think for Pepe that's not the case, and that's a mix of those technicals which I said, of respecting resistance, the low volume, but I think fundamentally that's caused by two things, and that's first of all that Ethereum since last week Thursday has actually been relatively weak, whereas before that Ethereum was usually a coin that actually outperformed Bitcoin, the market, all right, and that pulled Pepe together with it as well. And then meme coins also, over the course of the weekend, we saw some recovery from meme coins, but ultimately meme coins have also not performed very, very well, right? So Pepe is lacking that fundamental drive to get some more upsides. That is also what I think is reflected in technicals right here. So even though I think it's most likely Pepe will remain relatively stable, I think from that stability, given the lack of momentum and given the lack of strength, I would say it's actually quite likely that we're still going to fill some of those imbalances we made at the beginning of May, right? So that would be a drop into that level right here under 1,000, at 1,009.50. I'd say that's most likely, especially if we, mostly if we actually get some fundamentals that push the price down as well. So for example, today the US and China have trade talks. If that goes wrong, the chance obviously increases that Pepe is going to get this drop. If the fundamentals do not change for the worse, I'd say it's more likely that Pepe is just going to remain relatively stable. And then once we actually do get fundamentals that support a rally or support a move up, then we can start to test that balance right here at 1,270 and 1,300. To try to get back into that again. But at this point of time, I would not say that's most likely. I think stability and a little bit more of a pullback is actually more likely. But those are my thoughts. I will definitely keep you updated on this, but for now, I think that's what you need to know. So hopefully it was valuable. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you all in my next videos. Have a great week in advance, and bye.